Hey there, fan. How you be? This round is for the astrological sign of Cancer. The Hierophant has come out to play. Interesting vibe to kick off this reading. Let's cut the deck and see what's next, fam. This is for July of 2025. Let's see what kind of vibes you have, because I'm guessing Y is AF. Yeah, cool. Splitting the deck in three, pulling the middle to the top. So with the Hierophant, this could mean religion, yeah, but I feel like most often when it comes up, at least in these readings, it's speaking on wisdom. You know what I mean? That life wisdom that you can share, that there are those who not only want to listen, they want to learn from you, they respect you, right? I keep having issues with cat hair in my eyeballs. So, but like red is a color for not only your heart and your lifeblood, but passion, right? How do I word that? Because as a horror fan, that might be a bit too much for the way the thought that just came to it. But like your ooey gooeys is all red, right? You know, I mean, you know, like, you know, but you know, it's something deep within you that whomever this is for, that is referring to. Chapter 2 in this story is the Four of Wands. So we're sticking with the passion, that spark within you, that flame with the fiery wands. This is a card of celebration. So my question to you is, what's your perspective, right? Because that's kind of being played with in this image, right? Like the people, like, are we just up close to the huppah? What's going on with that home back there, right? Like, what's your perspective with joy and celebration, marriage and graduations, whatever the heck it is that you would want to celebrate with your family, my dear Cancer, right? Oh, let me count the ways. Cancer family. It's only natural. We have 5 and 4. And the next card is the Page of Cups. Okay. So this can kind of seem a bit serious, right? Like respectful manners, all of that. And yet you're being reminded to have some damn fun. What did you do on your birthday? Because as far as I'm concerned, you should have been enjoying yourself. Did you take the day off work? Notifications, please. Oh no, the air pressure. So like, someone needs to, like, you need to do something to celebrate life. If you don't have a marriage coming up, if there's no wedding, if there's no, like, you know, obvious things going on, it's because you need to celebrate yourself. If you have an uncomfortable reaction to that, you're who I'm talking to, because you shouldn't be uncomfortable by that. You should be allowed to revel in it. So whomever took that from you, I want names and numbers. Don't dox people. I'm kidding. It's a phrase. It's you know, words, but like, damn. All right. So because you know, stop taking life so seriously. This person's talking to a fish. But that's also water with those cups. Chapter 4 is the 7 of Swords. I know you've been through some crap. I know that people have deceived you and manipulated you and really pulled some shady crap with you. But you've learned so much from that. So you walk away from that crap with your peace of mind intact, because they don't get to take that from you, okay? You're going to have fun. Does this person seem upset about what they're doing right now? They seem pretty content. this is often referred to as the thief of the tarot, but it's broad daylight. What are they hiding exactly? You know what I mean? Their pants are blue. That speaks to intuition. All that gold is your, gold is that conscious mind. Even this Hierophant has that big old stereotypical thing going on that head for that, such a Catholic looking, themed kind of image, right? That consciousness, that awareness, right? And the swords are the mind. So we have fire, water, and air represented. I'm like, my memory is kind of messing with me on the Hierophant. Like, I know it, but I'm too insecure to say it and possibly get it wrong and embarrass myself. But it's one of those moments where it's like, why are you second guessing yourself? So that makes me want to ask you, why are you second guessing yourself? What are you doubting yourself on? Why you do? Why? Okay. Why? Probably because you've had a lot on your mind. So that's our top row of 4, the bottom row of 4. What's coming up underneath the Hierophant? So with the Knight of Cups, both the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles are the 2 slowest knights in the deck. The knights are sent out for that mission, right? I always feel like those 2 in particular, they're sent out, they go out, and they reach, they reach a certain point, and then that's the meeting spot. Now you got to come to them. They've done their part, or at least, they've done all that they can do until you meet up with them. You know what I'm saying? They got a message for you, right? And that's the Cup. So that's emotions, the fluidity of life, creativity, love. You know what I mean? Something's waiting for you. What you doing? Are you too up in your head? I just heard Outcast, like, you got to come back down to earth. You know what I mean? This person is waiting for you by that babbling brook, my friend. And if we're going with the wisdom version of the Hierophant vibes, it feels like if you allow yourself to, it'll be okay because you'll know it. You'll know better. You know what I mean? With everything that you've learned, why not celebrate the fact that you never have to deal with that bullshit again? Let it be behind you. You know what I mean? And move on. Keep moving forward. If you've been feeling stagnant, that's why you've been holding yourself back when it comes to your heart. Whether we want to talk about romance or not, you know what I mean? That hyper focus has been going on. Fan, this card is coming up underneath the 4 of Wands. Why? We can joke around and have our epiphanies and relate to one another, but you can't hide from me in this moment, whoever this is for. You've been stressing. And you can play it cool because you don't want to worry people, but I see you. This is someone who's dealing with anxiety. There's some kind of loopage going on. And the main vibe, the underlying infection, for lack of better words, is fear. You want this. You want all of that. Perspectives, yeah. But, right? So if it's past tense for you, good. But something's going on. Someone's blocking themselves. I want you to remember that this person here is wearing white. And white tends to speak of innocence. And with all that black background, speaks of the dark night of the soul. You're really stressing about something. There's something that you're worried about, you're scared of, or something. You know what I mean? And it's really difficult to break out of that loop, but this is your mind. And whatever it is, either it's not as bad as you think or bad as you fear. It's just not that. Maybe you fear that you did something wrong. Maybe you've been struggling to trust yourself again after all of that. Maybe you did your own kind of shady shit during this time. But fam, you've learned from it. If there was anything to atone, you did it. Okay? And you've got to loosen up. And I'll let both the Page and the Knight of Cups showed up, fam. A point is being made. Please be nice to yourself. Love yourself. Love begins with us, okay? Let's see if there's any advice coming up underneath that Page of Cups. Okay. Some kind of sudden change is going to come into your life. And I just want you to remember to look at the silver lining. Remember, so maybe there's someone at that time who's going to say something, someone younger than you, who's going to say something that just helps take that load off a bit. Like maybe, you know, because these people don't know where they're going to land. They don't know where they're going. They don't know how everything, what is up, what is down. They don't know. This could be literally moving, switching homes, or your job, or something. There's something that is changing, and it's going to come as a complete surprise to you. But you need to remember that this is for the greater good. You need this. You enabled this. Okay? It wouldn't happen if it wasn't meant for you. And I want you to think of the best possible outcomes. Don't start picking up the rubble, sifting through the rubble, and trying to put things back in spots because, well, this is where I've slept for like 20 years. Fuck that bed. You know what I mean? You need something new. Whatever this is, you need to let it go. You need to let it wash away. Maybe, you know, it's summer. Maybe it's time to go to the beach and not just hang out on the sand, but actually get in the water. Maybe it's time to go down to the river and just get your feet up in there. You know what I mean? I would say take a shower, but maybe the compromise would be if it's like well water or something, you know what I mean? Coming from deep within the earth. Otherwise the ocean, but find some kind of body of water. And if not, that's okay because water is water. So I don't know if you want to just play some Hertz frequency music or something, you know, to kind of help with the cleansing, but let it wash away. Try to figure out that new perspective, okay? You got to change your perspective. Something seems, you know, it's kind of like that rear view mirror kind of manipulative crap. You know what I mean? Illusion. The funhouse mirror. You know what I mean? Whatever your perspective on it has been messing you up. And being able to laugh about it, joke about it, accept it, and just go with the flow of life is going to see you through this, okay? This is meant to be good. This is meant to be helpful and exactly what you need, okay? Boosh. Mind over matter. Speaking of which, what's going to come up underneath the Seven of Swords? I have a lot of cousins who fall under this astrological sign, so I'm just having a moment for you, fam. Let me show you how I want to. First, we saw the Page of Cups, right? Then we saw the Knight. Fam, let's go back to the 10. Boosh. How's that? How's that for a happily ever after, fam? The 10 of freaking cups. Are you kidding me? I mentioned that babbling brook. Didn't I mention a babbling brook? Yes, with the Knight of Cups. I said what I said. So the 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. The 9 of Cups is your wishes granted. We just plowed right on past that shit, didn't we, fam? Damn right. So whether it's that honey and 2.5 kids, you know, the babbling brook, the beautiful little house and the, you know, in a country or whatever the heck, or not, whatever your emotional fulfillment looks like for you. That is what's trying to come through. I like to think that this horse is prancing around, is so excited. It's about that time, right? Not quite yet, not right now. You know, it's coming. But you got to get out of your own way. There's something you've been holding yourself back from due to the past and due to your fear that is just, let it be obliterated this month, okay? Let's just stop playing with the Band-Aids. Stop lying to yourselves. I say with love. I say with love. Been there, done that. I'm right. You know what I mean? Like, I like to say that we may not be in the same boat, but we're hanging out in the same body of water. And someone who's got the unicorn floaty, because I want in. It's my turn, okay? It's my turn. I mean, you just had your birthday. It's almost mine, okay? Unless it's about your turn. Because we're not quite done with Cancer season, right? What's the caboose? Because I'm babbling. That's 2 10s, fam. You have difficulty saying no, and I really feel like, oh my goodness. You like taking care of your family. You want everybody to be okay and provided for and well fed and cared for, and you are overworking yourself. You have difficulty saying no. You have difficulty respecting your own damn boundaries. I mean, probably a little bit of both for my people. You know what I mean? But this is the burnout card. But it's another 10. And that's a reminder that that's an end of a cycle. You know what I mean? Emotionally, you're coming out the other side. Those, you know, the ones, like I said earlier, fire, that passion, right? And you're a water sign, though. So don't dampen your fire. Don't dampen your flame. I know that that can sound so cheesy and cliche, and I don't care. Because sometimes it's also the truth, okay? Okay? On the bottom of that deck, after those 2 10s in a row, is the Ace of Pentacles. I like to refer to cards like this as served on a golden platter. So, you know, there's a lot of religious themes going on with these cards, with this particular Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And with these, it's a literal gift from the divine. The question is, do you accept? Are you open to receive? Because that's the only way that this change can truly come about. Otherwise, it's going to be... it's more likely to cause whiplash because certain things are just going to happen. You know what I mean? And with the Pentacles, that's the Earth. I like that the Earth came in to balance these because we've got the swords, we've got the cups, we've got the wands. There's that Earth, fam. You have gifts. These are new seeds to plant, and they're golden. Okay? They're freaking golden. I feel like that's something that came up last month. Was it for Cancer? I think the title for the video I put was "The Seeds You're Planting Are Golden, Jack." You know what I mean? Like, this can be manifestations. When I think of Pentacles, I think of like your garden that you're cultivating. You're spending time with it. You're focusing on it. You're putting in daily work. It doesn't have, like, get the idea of daily grind out of your mind, okay? Stop it. Stop it. That was then, this is now. You've learned better. Work smarter, not harder. All that. I feel like that's the season. Or this is the season of people really figuring out what it means for them to work smarter, not harder. I mean, if it was a matter of putting in actual blood, sweat, and tears, wouldn't you expect different results? If that was it? I'm just saying. Okay. Let's go ahead and bust out the Moonology deck and see what kind of advice we can share by way of the moon with our astrological cancers for July of 2025. What's the advice that they could really use from that? Okay, we have 3. We'll look at the bottom in just a second. Ooh, confidence is your key to success. The new moon in Leo coming up next, right? There's that solar plexus represented with a little dash, a little of a sacral. Ooh, holy crap. Fam, don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Wow, do you have a bunch of Leo in your chart, or is this just what you need to really embody right about now? Now we have conclusions are within reach. The full moon eclipse, almost like a blend, and leading us toward the upper chakras. Very interesting, fam. Me likey. I haven't been seeing the Leo cards very much very much as of yet. So let me go ahead and bust out the book, and thank you for your patience. Alrighty, fam. So confidence is your key to success. This card heralds the start of a new cycle for you when you're going to look and feel more gorgeous, more in the spotlight, more like you have something worth showing off. If you want someone's attention, this card says it's coming. However, this may not happen all by itself. You have to be willing to do your bit. That means being proud of who you are and what you have to offer. What have I been saying? Fam, moving on. Think of yourself as the king or queen of the jungle and carry yourself accordingly. This card is also a great omen if you're asking for about a creative project you're working on. Alternatively, it can herald good news or a new start for your children. So, attuned to the moon says make time to have fun. Additional meanings for this card are it's time for you to show the world what you've got. Shine your light. Have some pride. Spoil yourself. You've earned it. You've turned someone's head. You may already have someone's attention, whether you realize it or not. Leo is the sign of the big and brave-hearted lion of pride and showmanship and flirting. All right, this energy around the new moon in Leo, and therefore around this card whenever you pick it, is hot and generous. The energy loves itself, and so should you. If you've been too much of a wallflower, I'm definitely looking at both of the main cousins, definitely one of them who would be watching this. I'm looking at you. Yeah? This new moon card and the Leo new moon comes as a reminder that you need to be proud of who you are. Damn it. Okie dokie. Full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. Have you been letting your pride become an obstacle? Is the question you're asking based on your ego, or is it from your heart? Leo energy is all about the heart. Think of the big-hearted king of the jungle, the lion who lays there while his chickie mama does all the work. Its energy is magnificent. But when it's combined with the rush of the full moon, it can become over the top. This card may have come to you because you need to end a deadlock that has developed. More love and thoughts for the greater good are the solution to this dilemma. If you've not been doing as you would be done by lately, this is the time to find balance between your own needs and the need of the people around you. This will help all of your relationships. So remember, be magnificent without being plain too much. Plain? Are any of you plain? I don't think so. Everyone is equally important. Creative urges should be followed. Work some magic. and a friendship may be ending now. Well, damn. Okay, moving on. When the full moon, because we're just going to move on from that negativity. The full moon comes in Leo. Either that or the trash took itself out. And I like that for you. When it comes into Leo, it can be a wonderfully bright time where people feel more confident to show the world their talents and assets. That's the upside of this lunation and of this card, no matter when you pull it. However, take note that the Leo full moon combination creates a sort of tension between your needs and the needs of your people in your networks. Leo full moon is a time to release pride. I want to talk to one of my cousins right now, and I feel like something you should be doing is sharing what you're doing in your she shed. Just saying. Conclusions are within reach with the full moon eclipse, and just like that, a door slams shut. If you've pulled this card, it suggests that the situation you're asking is about to reach a peak or has just done so, and things are now out of your hands. What you're experiencing now is what your soul signed up for, a way for you to learn and for your soul to evolve. So allow events to unfold and be easy on yourself. If you're letting go of someone or something, know that it is the right time, as hard as it might be. Forgiving someone for what they did could be key to resolving the situation in a positive way. It doesn't make right what they did, but it releases it so you can move on. Okay, I keep wanting to make this note because I can't help myself. There's a big difference between forgiveness and acceptance. Not condoning, acceptance that it happened, that it's in the past and there's no backsies. You know what I mean? You can't change the past. It's already done and over and it's back there now. You can't go back. And I feel like there's a big difference between accepting that and forgiveness. Forgiveness to me personally, you don't have to agree, but to me personally, it feels too much like condoning. And I'm not about that because, no. So remember that which is meant for me will not pass me by. Additional meanings for this card: doors which slam shut now will not reopen. It's time for you to get back on track. Forgiveness will set you free of karma. I guess one way forgiveness is forgiving oneself for the time it took to heal, to work through it, right? Because sometimes as a human, it can feel like we've wasted time. Like a lot of the world just kept going, you know what I mean? But healing and these processes, they take the time that they need. As long as you keep moving forward and you take care of yourself, okay? Meditation, pranayama, and yoga nidra are all recommended now. Seed control and let events unfold. Full moons are nearly always about climaxes and very often about conclusions. Full moon eclipses are the same, but on steroids. A full moon eclipse can be hard to handle because it portends change, something many of us are uncomfortable with. But change is a part of life. And this card, no matter when you pull it, reminds you of that fact. Full moon eclipses also give us a glimpse into what Carl Jung called the shadow self. Work with your darkness. Something is tickling my arm. Why are you tickling me? What's that necessary for? Oh, fam. Okay, on the bottom, we have luck is on your side with the new moon in Sagittarius. These are a lot of the lower, with these colors, the lower chakras. So when we're talking about the root chakra, that's where your fears can get in the way of feeling safe and secure and stable, right? And there's a lot of gold that I'm looking at. You know, we do have these cards like these. But you need to give in like it's anime, fam. You know what I mean? Stop wearing what do you mean the reindeer is a doctor? Don't worry about it. This is a really great story that they're telling, okay? Just let it go. So what if you don't have all the answers? You know enough. You know who you are. You know what you've been through, and you know what you've learned. Now, what if what you've learned wasn't used as a weapon against you, by you? What if the battle's done and the best is yet to come, even still? Right? Remember, we started off with the Hierophant, fam. That red, that gold, that wisdom. Okay? And this painful, this difficult cycle that has burned you out, and you've been working your ass off for so long, you've been learning and growing, and you're getting that emotional fulfillment at the same time. So you just gotta meet, you gotta meet that fluidity of life, that flow. You know what I mean? Just, I know that there are people who say, you know, who goes with the flow? Dead fish. Fuck that, fam. No. It is not the same. Going with the flow and being able to trust the universe and trust yourself is a very, very conscious choice. That consciousness, right? That conscious awareness going on, okay? There's gold shattering that tower with lightning force, knocking that old crown the fuck out of the way. Get this patriarchy kind of bullcrap, this generational trauma out of my way. I got shit to do. All right, fam? Thank you so much for hanging out with me and keeping me company. I went beyond the 30-minute limit that I try to place on myself. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this whole reading. I really appreciate your company. I love you, cuz. I love you. And I'm always going to remind anyone, really, of how incredible you are. You yourself are golden. I mean, unless you don't like gold, and then you are whatever the heck you like. So says me. Oh, thank you. And always remember that I believe in you. Okay?